Qiu, which means Seeking Truth, is a bi-monthly political theory periodical published by the Central Party School and the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China. Hardly a barrel of laughs, as can be imagined, but its articles, often published under pseudonyms, do give a useful idea of what is going on in the sometimes opaque world of Communist Party policymaking. Now, one of the most recent of these articles, entitled "Let's Build a Cleaner and Brighter Online Environment," has sparked quite a bit of interest amongst Chinese net users. In this, the author staunchly defends the current campaign to tighten up control of what internet users in China say, and particularly the crackdown on the bogeyman du jour, the online rumour monger. Now, the main thrust of the piece is an attack on those who speak irresponsibly online to the detriment of the powers that be and society in general. Qiu accuses some net users of using the internet to damage the Communist Party and the government by posting or reposting negative comments and criticism of these bodies. It then says the damage is compounded if big Vs, that's a common nickname in China for internet celebrities with millions of followers, if they repost such criticisms. In conclusion, the article says that both the party and society need to be alert to what it calls the online battle, and pledges that we will not sit idly by while hostile forces try to use the internet to topple China. Well, as the crackdown continues, with new arrests almost daily, what have net users to say about the Qiu article and the message it conveys? To find out, let's join our researcher Esther Dung in the newsroom. So Esther, very simply, what sort of thoughts are you seeing from net users who've read this piece?
Well, first, I'd like to point out that when this article was reposted on other websites, as usually happens with Qiu commentaries, the emphasis was put on the last paragraphs, and the headline changed to "Never let hostile forces use the internet to topple China." And I have to say that has left many net users confused and rather unhappy. First, many feel it means the article doesn't make sense, like this poster 未来风云, who says, "Well, we have so many users in China. If it's so easy, then why don't we make use of the internet to topple the US?" And Yan Chunjiang, who asks on Weibo.com quite sarcastically, "If a country can be toppled by the internet, then just how weak and fragile is it? And if the internet is so powerful, then countries don't need to get involved in any arms race, right?" And then this poster named Nie Pan Yu wants an answer to this question. In every country, there are people who complain about and criticize the authorities. So why is that they don't have to implement such so-called crackdowns on the online community to stop people from saying what they want to say? And finally, there are a certain number of posters who have problems with the words hostile forces. One typical example is 香山上的苍松 from Beijing. I admit there are some hostile forces in other countries that aren't friendly to China, and we should keep alert. But we should differentiate between those hostile forces and our own countrymen. We can't label them as hostile forces simply because they express their complaints and vent their anger online.
Okay, it would seem that this article is yet another shot in the ongoing propaganda war being waged by official media against those accused of misusing the internet to the detriment of the government. What are net users' thoughts about this really quite sustained campaign, which shows no sign of ending?
Well, I have to say that there are certainly some net users who support what's going on and see it as a clarification of where the law and the government lie on this question. An example is Yang Chun 白雪一姐妹 from Tianjin, who says on iPhone.com, "We should let people know there are also boundaries in the online community, and those boundaries are the law. Nobody can post whatever he or she wants to post online." But the vast majority of posters I've seen don't have such a positive attitude towards the crackdown. And based on what I've seen, one aspect seems to have sparked off the most complaints and criticism, and that is the recent judicial interpretation of laws regarding online rumors issued by China's chief prosecution body and its Supreme Court. This effectively threatens those who write an untrue or defamatory post, which is reposted over 500 times or viewed 5,000 times, with up to 3 years in jail. Chen Jieren is incensed by the ruling. For me, apparently, there is blatant political interference behind this judicial decision. This is flagrant contempt of the criminal law. It represents a major threat to net users, and it's quite possible that innocent people will end up suffering punishments they don't deserve. And also this poster, 林平在日本, makes an interesting contrast in his post about just who is more or less influential when it comes to views and reposts. When the businessman Wang Gongquan was arrested, Ren Zhiqiang, a big V, posted the information online. In the next 8.5 hours, the post was reposted over 9,000 times. But when the singer Fei Wang announced her divorce on her microblog account, in just 1.5 hours, it was reposted over 290,000 times. And her ex-husband's post about their divorce was reposted over 90,000 times in 15 minutes. So what's the point of targeting these big Vs? They are certainly not the most influential people on our social network.
Okay, finally, Esther, any other aspects of this that net users have been commenting on?
Oh yes, I've seen plenty of posters who agree that online regulations of some sort or even certain tighter controls are necessary. But they complain that the most effective way of, as the article says, building a cleaner and brighter online environment would be to increase information transparency from the authorities and to speed up reaction and information distribution when some event happens. I'll finish up with this poster from this poster, 我是快乐的小马. What we want to know is nothing more than the truth. But our authorities really doing a atrocious job in this aspect. They fail to respond quickly and let us know what really occurred when things happen. So of course, various rumors will spread online.
Okay, thanks for that, Esther. And that was China Take researcher Esther Dung with online reaction to that Chosha article on justifying the ongoing campaign on tightening up regulation of what can and can't be said on the internet here in China.